To
Now, there's nothing wrong with being a big body, but for preference sake, I wasn't really feeling it. But her personality is what got me. And then I started entertaining it. So, right, even though I got catfished, I actually considered, taking her seriously.
And I also date, like, sometimes I really try this because it's led to some great people I've got to meet along the way. I will date outside of my preferences just to see what that's like.
If you're not initially attracted to that person and have a
Guys,
strong sexual attraction, then it's not going to work because we know that relationships get worse, not better. That's like, I don't know, I think it's a recipe for disaster.
Cheating is the worst thing my partner could do to me. 3, 2, 1.
We are about to disagree with y'all because I know everyone's gonna be like, I strongly agree. I'm going to be like, I strongly agree, yes. But if it kills me, anyway, I'm joking. This is the thing. This is what I think about cheating. It's bad things. Actually, the only thing that the Bible allows divorce for. So I feel like it's a really bad thing. Yes. Even I didn't find you good enough to be faithful to you. Yes, it's a bad thing. My face is wrinkling up again, bestie. Oh no, it's drying. But anyways, so it is a bad thing. But would you forgive your partner if they cheat? I would say it depends. Depends on how long you guys have been together. Depends on the love you guys have been sharing. Depends on a lot of things. Many people say that the moment you cheat on me, that's when I leave you. But then sometimes when you are in those shoes, you just don't know what you will do because you don't know how much you love this person. Of course, if they have cheated on you, it will be very hard to regain their trust. But I've seen people forgive and I've seen them carry on to have better marriages than they ever had before because they now convince themselves to go for therapy and they started doing good things for their love life. So for me, I'd say it depends. Let's see. Oh.
I feel like there's like probably worse things like in theory that a partner could do to their partner, but just because that's such an important aspect for me and like I feel like my partners in the past have like been very aware that was like something that I actively would not do. I feel like that would just make that adds like an extra element of evil.
Yeah, my mind goes to marriage. I mean, when you marry this woman, when I marry a woman someday, you promise literally everything you have to be with her, literally thick and thin, to be with her through everything, through highs and lows. And I mean, if you do something like cheating, it's basically like, screw this love, this wasn't real, these promises that I made between us and God mean nothing. I think for a lot of Christians, that's like a big thing, is cheating.
100%. And it's one of the 10 commandments too. It's like, do not commit adultery. So that is definitely the worst thing because getting married is a promise between you and that person and God.
I mean, technically, there's worse things like they could kill you, which would probably
She said
worse
that
thing
I
because you're not even in the picture.
You belong
But
over
I'm kind of like, but I would say that would like destroy me, and I would never even think about something like that.
Yeah. I 100% agree. I was actually cheated on a few, like 4 or 5 months ago. I struggled with self-esteem so much growing up, and that was the worst thing that could have happened. That destroyed any chance I had at self-love at that time, and it was just devastating. Like, it really was just devastating because it didn't just destroy that relationship, it destroyed my entire...
I'd love to reiterate. When I say it depends, it does not mean it does not hurt. It hurts still. We all learn to move away from hurt. Like for me, for instance, I've lost my mom. I mourned her. I still mourn her sometimes. The same thing. You will feel the pain, but then you can move past the pain and get back to it. I don't know. Otherwise, it could kill you.
Image of myself that I had built up based on other people's validation, and I had to rip it down to the studs and just fully start over. Yeah, so that's why I'm over here. Strongly agree. For me personally, it was the worst thing that could have happened.
cheating is, it's not a good feeling. Is it the worst thing that a partner could do to me? To be honest, I've outgrown it. Bro, I had over $250,000 stolen from me this year, bro. And that put me in a dark ass place. Now imagine, if my partner stole that money from me, or she was just a homie, I'd be more mad about the money. You feel me? Right?
I don't have that money to be stolen.
So you're saying you care more about money than a relationship?
But because at the end of the day, me and my ex, we ain't together no more, so but she was, if she was, right? But if she stole my money, yeah, that'll fix my life. You know what I mean, right? So my whole thing is when we talk about the front, it's cheating the worst thing. I've been cheated on before. The first time I was cheated on, bro, I was petty. I was in high school, bro. I drove all the way to the crib and told her mom what she was doing with me. You know what I mean? Right? Yeah, I was vengeful. But now I just be like, so many people do it. There's worse things that they have. Like if you kill my mom, I'd be more mad. Rather you homie.
The sanctity of marriage is supposed to be till death do us part. That doesn't mean if your carnal flesh gave in and you had, an indiscretion that you're able to hit the door running. No, that means there's work to be done. We have problems. For me, I think that actually can be the best thing because it's a sign that there is a huge problem in the relationship that needs fixed. Most sex is not emotional, so it's just a bodily act that animals do, and you're going to blow up a marriage or a relationship with children over sex. To me, I think that is ridiculous.
But sex,
You could say that about the person doing the cheating too.
I've been cheated on, so I have been cheated on.
well, so you think that's something you could you have gotten over it?
I have gotten over it. If my husband cheats on me, of course I'd be devastated. I'm human, I believe just like all y'all too, but I'd be like, damn, what's the problem here? What's the issue? And can we solve this?
Why don't you just talk? Like if you guys are married and you have that emotion.
I feel like there's things before that.
No, we know that people don't.
I think we should work to changing that.
We should, but that doesn't mean I'm going to unconditionally love you just because you went and had an indiscretion. I wouldn't do that to my son. My son F's up all the time and does crazy shit. I'm like, where on God's green earth did you learn that? That doesn't mean I stopped loving him.
For men, I feel like we take cheating a lot more personally as opposed to women.
I think people's boundaries are all different. So if you have perhaps been with no or less partners and then you get married, to learn that person cheated would be proportionally much more devastating to someone who's had maybe a lot of relationship experience and therefore that's more of an active part in their life. So I think that everyone's boundaries are different. So for some people, I have seen them get over it. I know for me personally, I would say that I'm a woman that would take that devastatingly seriously and would not look lightly at it. So it depends on the person's boundaries.
If you had children and if you had a family involved, you would break up your family over a man's one-time indiscretion.
Yes.
That would adversely affect your child and possibly send her to the stripper bowl.
I don't feel comfortable answering that question because I feel like it's making a lot of.
That
But this
feels
is
like
what
an
happens.
escalation.
This is
But
what
I feel
happens.
like that
We don't want to
just
answer those
shows
questions, but
that shows an example onto the kids, like, oh, this is not that bad of a
No.
And I also I think that
It does not show that this is not a bad thing. They're gonna see you affected. They're gonna feel the change in the environment. What I feel actually teaches the kids is don't do it, and second, it teaches them commitment because they'll see that you are more committed to fixing the problem. Like she's saying, if he's done it this one time, I gotta ask myself, what's the problem? Can we fix it? And if it's something that we can fix, then you carry on to fix it. If something that cannot be fixed, maybe he's a recurrent cheater and things like that, and fine, you can move out. But the ones, even if it's for me, and probably I was drunk and I did some stupid things, or I did it with my own knowledge, I would hope I can get a chance to be forgiven before I'm going out and stuff. And by that I don't mean that it's going to make me homeless, but I mean that we have had a marriage for over 10 years. I'm hoping we can find a solution.
like somebody cheating on you is more than just like a physical thing. Like that's a break of trust, and I feel like if you can't have that trust in someone, then I also don't want them to be like raising my kids with me.
So we're all saying that love is conditional is the end of
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Monogamy is overrated. 3.
Before they respond, I would actually say monogamy is underrated because right now, monogamy was never really accepted. It was the way of life. It was a man who was course, that's what it is in the Bible. It's okay, you can marry another person, but monogamy is actually underrated because many people are now moving and praising these open marriages, and most of them are falling apart. They start and they tell us that we're really happy, but then 5 years later, you hear that they've left each other. And people say that monogamy is very restrictive. That's why I say it's underrated. People view it negatively instead of the positive part. Because this is you choosing to commit to this one person that you love for the rest of your life till death do your part. Man, that's a lot of strength. I can't even commit to one hairstyle for a month. And now you have to commit, okay, no, that example doesn't really match up. But you can get what I'm saying, yeah? You have to get what I'm saying. Oh,
Come on, man, get over here, get your phone over here. You know you belong here. At least I'm
Think about it.
We're like in a second.
Think about it.
We're taught from Disney, all these fairy tales, it's like you're supposed to be with that one and only. You know, so it's very frightening to break something traditional, but after like a few months with it, I just knew I'm like, this is the right choice. I've been in the most happiest of relationships. I just celebrated my 3 years with my primary partner, and like, as well as my 2-year anniversary with my secondary partner. But it's like, you know, I do think that monogamy is kind of overrated. I don't think that there's anything like, you know, wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, go for it. But I do think that non-monogamy relationships should be something that like it's looked at as an option.
I think nowadays I know more open relationships than I do strictly close relationships
Yeah.
with the people that I know. I would say I disagree that monogamy is overrated, but I do agree that for some people like yourself, poly relationships work better. So I don't look down upon them. I think whatever works for you works for you.
Yes.
But I can still say that for like someone like myself or people that are similarly just very focused and have like strict kind of like I just can't ever. Oh my god, I could never imagine more than like one
It's
person.
a lot. It
depends
takes a
on the
lot.
person,
Yeah.
So therefore, I don't think monogamy is overrated. I think it depends on the person, and I think for me, it's definitely not over. It's the only option. For you, poly is like the right way. So it just depends. I'm completely non-judgmental. I think.
I just want to say, I don't mind monogamy, right? I just don't like a controlling relationship where it's completely like, no, you can't, nobody else. But at the same time, you want to meet once or twice a month. You know what I mean? Right. And
Exactly.
So, you know, me and my ex was together for 5 years. I actually broke up with her in April. But for 2.5 years out that relationship, we was barely, we're like maybe once a month.
Yeah.
Then I moved her in the crib. And then when I moved her in the house, for the whole first year of her living in the house, she just didn't want to have sex.
That's right.
Now we had
If
an
she doesn't want to
agreement.
have sex
We
with
had
you,
agreed on
she
where we
doesn't
could do
like
very
you. She's there for the
we want to know about it and stuff like that, right? And because we wasn't.
And I don't mean that you should be willing to have sex 50 times a week. No. I'm just saying that we all have body needs, we all have desires. Ladies, this is what I feel. Ladies get that connection from a man from how often they get to talk even after the date, or how romantic the guy is. She feels loved, she loves it. So I can't see why she just didn't want to have sex. She was just there because you moved her into the house and she didn't have no bills to pay.
Handling the agreement, like I was following the agreement, but because there were certain things that wasn't necessarily nice, you know, that created complications in the relationship to the point that let's break it up.
I think it's definitely like it has a place, like for certain people. Like obviously we have two people who are like very religious, and it works well for them. And I just think like if I was in an open relationship, I would go crazy. Like even when I'm in like a normal relationship where it's like I don't expect them to cheat on me, I'm still like it's suspect. Yeah. So I just like if like I can't imagine a world where I would agree with that. And also before I had like loved someone or like dated anybody, I was like, oh no, I could totally be in an open relationship. And then I actually did, and I was like, oh.
Are you
Never
a
mind.
sexual person? Just curious, though.
Like kind of.
Kind of.
Sure. It's like
So if your partner was very sexual too, he's like, you always shut him down.
I don't. That's like never happened. Like I just feel like that's like not that's like there's like being an issue. But also I don't know. I think think that would definitely be a conversation if there was like an imbalance. But also, I think there's different things that make people compatible as partners, and that's definitely one of them.
What he's saying is the cry of many men today is that they're not getting enough sex from their partner. And not just sex, it's not like men are like, oh, I'm heartless.
Now,
But
let me tell you, I feel like women gatekeep sex to get men to do certain things for them. Like they can hold a man hostage when you're angry with them. Of course, when you're angry, it's very hard to just have sex with someone. But when you're angry with them, or when you need them to buy you a gift, or when they just don't want to do the dishes, we use it as a way to punishment. And that leads to many men not having, the regular sex they should have. Especially when you're in your dating period, it's kind of different than marriage. Marriage, over time, like the lady says, marriage gets worse. And things just fizzle out bit by bit by bit. So the energy is not there, menopause is kicking in, the guy's libido is dropping down. Okay, fine. But when you're in your dating stages, young and vibrant, I don't see why. I don't see why they do it.
Listen, men need sex to create intimacy. Women need intimacy to have sex. People get married and then fuck around. It's like, just don't get married then.
Yeah.
And stay like this boy, dates and anniversaries every month. Next month is his 1 year anniversary with partner number 3. Like, just, just
Stay out there doing your dates. Does that make sense?
By the end of the day, nobody should dictate your relationship because everyone's gonna try to push what they think works for you. Know, this is what's best for you. Like I'm over it. I'm like, why? So I get frustrated and pissed off, and like I've tried it. To me, it did not work.
I'm gonna take perspective because Christian. I'm gonna take perspective that's a little away from my vocal views. And no disrespect, but I do think polygamy is just laziness.
Not polygamy. This is polyamory. Polygamy is when it's multiple wives, just one person.
I see that as laziness, that you don't want to commit to someone in the hard times. Like you were talking about a little bit about, well, they're not getting fulfilled sexually, so why not find it somewhere else? Why not just do the hard work to work on your relationship?
I was ready for this kind of shit.
And I mean, there's such a emotional, there's a psychological just importance in being with one person. I mean,
so then why do we have such a high divorce rate?
I agree with you on that.
Why do we have such a high divorce rate?
Why are people still cheating? Why is
Because they're not. Because our country, I think, is lazy. We don't want to have these hard conversations of maybe we should go to therapy, maybe we should try to get help because we love one another. It's like, nah, I can go get
talk
this.
about it. Period.
Yeah.
Just to talk about it, right?
So me and my ex, we actually did couples therapy again, barely for like 2.5 years, bro. We went to couples therapy. Next thing you know, everything was great for like a month, and then one day she just blew up. She said, "I still don't feel like this and that." Like she went in, bro. You know what I mean? So at the same time, there was a point in our relationship where it really just came to the point like, baby, I love everything else about you. You know what I mean, right? This area sucks. Are you still attracted? She said, "Yes, I'm still attracted to you, right?" Well, here's the thing. Sexual, right? Let's have that conversation, right? Because I get everything else I want from you. I was open to it. I want to be with my woman, but if you don't want to do this, I'll find you.
I mean, I understand the importance of sex, but there's self-sacrifice in every relationship you make. If you're happy with her and everything she had, but you also have a value on sex, then maybe she's not the right person.
But the thing was, did I want to go look for greener grass, or did I just want to water my own grass? I stuck it out for 5 years, bro.
That's another aspect of being like romantically compatible with someone, and sometimes there's like one thing that's not there and that sucks. But it's like especially if that other person, that's something they prioritize. Like personally, if my partner was like, oh, like I love like everything about you, but like this is not compatible, and they wanted to go sleep with other people, like that make me feel so bad about myself.
And that's why you do what works for you.
That's what you do.
I'm just saying like that's like a compatibility issue that I think, because I'm not your ex-girlfriend, I don't know how she feels, but if I were in that scenario, I just like that just would make me so sad, even though it's like it's not even your fault that they're sad about it.
The comments gonna talk so much shit.
Yeah, they
right.
They're gonna be like, he's a
The day I
slut, he's
broke up with
horrible.
my girl, bro, she told me like I won't say everything. The day I broke up with her, she said, man, she's like, I just been counting down the days. Like, we had sex in like 12 days. I gotta go have sex with y'all. Otherwise, I actually gonna get mad. You know what I mean, right? And I'm hearing all this.
think that cheating means that polyamory would actually be the solution to that. I think that it goes back to your values,
Yes.
what works for you, and I think that I would maybe venture to say that more people would be poly than are exploring that right now, and still at the same time not being able to work for a lot of people. So it's all works for you.
I would date someone in this room.
I would date the plant too. He is full of life.
What? I don't know these people.
Surprised he was over here. I'm like, what are you doing? I know, he's already said what you're doing.
The energy is cool.
You just have to have a pulse, then we'll go out with you.
That's not how that is.
Perfect example, right? Like Janelle, she got good energy, right? Now imagine Janelle might be the coolest person. Next thing you know, you start getting to know her, she might be crazy. Be like, then you come over here all of a sudden.
Generally, the few people I've been attracted to, they look like Tim Burton dolls or just like weird goth people. Yeah, just like weird goth people. So like, it's just coincidence. It's very rare that I see these people. So it's not a personal.
Sir?
My girlfriend would kill me, and
Respect.
I like to think I'm pretty picky, so.
But am I not your type?
You got me feeling some type of way now as you say it. I don't know.
So you're my good side?
Oh, okay, okay.
I mean, for me, beliefs are extremely important. I mean, I'm trying to get all flirty, but you are also very gorgeous. But no, beliefs are very important within relationships. I think I look into, obviously I have a desire to be a husband and one day be a father, and I think if you have differing beliefs, it's very hard to raise coherently.
Absolutely.
I think that just is extremely important.
Oh, it's a nice one. Peace, my dude. See you again in the next video. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.